We place images into InDesign, we have several options to make changes to them. We already learned about changing the frames, but there are other things we can do. In this video, I am going to talk about changing the transparency and adding some feathering effects around the edges. So first of all, let me show you how to change transparency. I'm going to do it on this selected image here. And transparency is here on the top. It's very easy to change. You just need to click on that value and reduce it. As you can see now, it became see-through. And if I want to move it around, I can make sure it's on top of the other images. So we will see that effect. I just right-click, choose Arrange, and bring to front. So now it's transparent. We will see through it and see the other image. So that's transparency, and we can always go back and set it to 100% or play around with this value. So this way we globally change the transparency or opacity of the image. But what if we want to only fade out the edges? For that, in InDesign we have 3 different ways of feathering the edges, and they will be found under the effects icon. These are the InDesign effects. I have this image selected here and I'm going to use basic feather. So let's see basic feather. I have the preview turned on, and as you can see, it already appeared here, but I am going to increase this value just to make it more visible. So you can see basic feathering will work like this, and we can change the corners to be rounded, sharp, or set it back to diffused. And then we have the choke value as well, which you can play around with, and also there's a value for noise. So that's basic feathering. It's very effective and easy to understand how it works. Let me select the next image, and I am going to go to Effects and choose Directional Feather, which is the second option. And with this one, we can control the top, bottom, left and right sides of the images separately. So again, I can add feathering, but in this case, I'm only going to add from the top like that. And of course, it works same on the other sides. And if you want, you can also make all settings the same with this little chain icon if you want to. And then you can also change the angle, have the choke and noise options here as well. And you can even change the shape. That only matters if you have, for example, rounded corners. So let me click on OK and then show you the last feathering option on this image on the right bottom side. So I'm going to choose gradient feather now. And with gradient feather, we can create a gradient here. And we can also decide whether we want a radial gradient or a linear gradient. And we can always reverse the gradient as well. So basically we have these color swatches here, and depending on the color or opacity, we will see the image or not. So with the 0% opacity swatch or color stop, we have the transparent part here on the right, and then on the left we have a 100% opacity, which means we will see the image here on the left. Now the fall off between them can be changed with this little star, so we can have a bit more transparent parts and less opaque, or vice versa, by moving that little black star on the top around. And we can always add new stops as well, color stops. So for example, here on the left, I can add another fully opaque part, and I can move that all the way to the left and move the middle one, the visible part, straight in the center. So you can play around with these values and then save the gradient feathering for your image. So that's all what I wanted to show you in this video. But as you could see, there are many other effects here, and I would like to show you them in the next video.